Hi everyone, this is Krista with Art Graphic Studio. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to upload, resize, and make 10 different Z-fold card blanks. I have also included some ideas for decorating the cards. All these cards will fit in a 5x7 envelope. So let's get started. If you have not already downloaded your SVG file, you can go to my Etsy shop by going to etsy.com and searching for Art Graphic Studio. Then scroll or search for the SVG you're looking for. If you are a Cricut Design Space user, you may be able to access my free designs. For more information, see my note at the end of this video. Sometimes, depending upon your system and/or your software, you may have to resize your uploaded design before you can make it. While I'm demonstrating this in Cricut Design Space, the same principles apply no matter what software you're using. So to get started, you'll need to upload your design files. Now, typically in Cricut, this is going to be an SVG file, but there might be other files, PDFs or PNGs or JPEGs. So let's go to Upload, Upload Image, and Browse. Now we're going to go to where we know our files are, in this case, crafts and envelopes. Now today I'm going to show you on this 4.5 by 9.5 inch envelope. So I'll open that and open the SVG file. Now here's our file. So let's upload that. And here it is. Now let's just click on that. And you see this green border? That indicates that it's selected. So we want to add that to our canvas over on the lower right. Now here we have it. Let's make it a little smaller so we can see the whole thing. Now you can see it's all grouped, but before we ungroup it, we need to do one thing, and that is to resize it, or to see if we need to resize it. In this case, I said I wanted a 4.5 by 9.5 inch card. So I'm going to create a rectangle, unlock the edit, and change that to width of 9.5 and a height of 4.5. Oops, 9.5. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to move this size that I know to be the correct size into place. About there. And as you can see, that's pretty close. So I think I'm just going to use that. And I'm going to get rid of that because I don't need it now. So now we know it's the right size. Let's go ahead and ungroup it. Now we want to change our score lines into score lines because they come in as cut lines. And in order to do that, click on the area that you know to be your score lines. And the way you know these will be score lines is because this box right here turns red. So we want to change basic cut to score. Now you can see that we have our score lines. Now all you have to do is select both your score lines and your design and attach them. Now you're ready to make it. And when it comes up, you can see that your score lines and your design is all on your cutting board and ready to cut. This is our 3-panel Z-fold card, and today I'm going to make mine a thank you card. As I said before, you can make it anything you want to. This is just an example. And we have the 3 pieces, here, here, and here, different sizes, and then the panel here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to fold along our score lines. And this is the way it will work. Same thing on these. We want to fold along our score lines. put our panels on the back, on the base. Now the panel that goes here, I've cut 2. But these 2 just have a single panel, a single layer. This one has 2. Now on these, we have gone ahead and glued the panels on the fronts. And then we will, once this is dry, we will glue these to the base. All right, now we're going to put our first in here, and it will sit like this. So what we want to do is we want to put some glue here. You can see I've already put some glue. And I'm going to put that just about in the center there. Don't want it quite on the fold line. And then the next one, we're going to glue on this end. And we're going to lay that flat and then lay it flat here. All right. Now once we let that dry, we're going to do the same thing with the next panel. We're going to put it here, put our glue here, and hold it down. Let it dry for a few minutes. We're going to let that dry for a few minutes, and then we'll put the next, we'll glue this side down. All right, we'll do the same thing here. Put a bead of glue right along the side. Fold that in and let that dry. All right, same thing for the last one. Put our glue here. Put it about in the middle. Let that dry. Then we'll come back and we'll glue the other end. Okay, now we want to glue here and fold it like this. And we'll let that dry. While that dries, we'll go ahead and put together our thank you, and we will have 3 layers. So let's glue this to here. I think I'm going to put some dimensionals on this. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on the sunflower. All right, now we want to add this. As you can see, I put some dimensionals on it, so we're just going to glue that. We only want to glue it on this panel right here. And then we want to glue or put our little sunflower on here. And I've also added some dimensionals to that. All right, there we are. And when it's folded, it's 5 by 7. And of course, you can add some more sentiments here if you'd like to. And that's it. All right, this is a 3-panel Z fold with a fold banner in front. All right, first thing we want to do is to fold along our score lines. And I've chosen to make a sympathy card on this one. This is the way this will go. So, next thing we want to do is to put together our layers. Now on this, since this will be on the front, I'm going to put some dimensionals on this. When you make yours, it doesn't have to be a sympathy card. You can make it anything you want to be. This will go here, and I'm not going to put a dimensional on that one. I'm just going to make it flat. And I am going to put some dimensionals. I don't think I will. I just made this flat, and I'm not going to put dimensionals on this one either. Now I'm going to
when I put these on, you can put them anywhere you want to, but I'm going to do mine like this. And I'm going to put these on here, and I'm just going to glue those down. This is a really easy card to make, but it looks really nice. All right, now that we've got these panels in place, let's put this panel in place. And we will put it from this edge to this edge. But we only want to put the glue just this part right here. About right here. Same thing here. We only want to put the glue to about right here. And we're going to let that dry for a few minutes. You'll see this is the way it'll fold. And here's our finished product. This is the 6-panel card, Z-fold card. And it opens up like this, and then this sits out front like this. And this is the blank that comes in the bundle. I'm going to make a Mother's Day card. Of course, you can decorate it any way you'd like to. First thing we're going to do is we're going to score. Going to fold on the score lines. Now, these are two sides, and we're going to attach them. We're going to overlap, and you'll see that there's folds. Fold lines, so we're going to overlap so that center one matches up. And we're going to glue that in place. All right. Then I've made two outside with these little gates, and those will go on the two outside covers. And the rest of them will go in the center. Now, as I said, these two outside I've decorated a little differently. We'll go ahead and glue those down. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute, and we'll be right back. All right, I've put some dimensionals on the backs of the gates so it'll stand up a little bit. So I'm gonna adhere those. And when this is folded, it makes a 5x7 card. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to attach the inside card to the lining. Now what we want to do is we want to run a bead of glue here down this center line, and then we will attach this card right there. And then we're going to let that dry. Now here we go. Now you can put a belly band around here if you'd like to close it up. And here is the finished product. This is the Bouquet card. It's a Bouquet Z card. And I'm decided to make a get well card out of that. And I call it a bouquet because it has the flowers, but you can use balloons or whatever you'd like to decorate it with. So the first thing we want to do is to fold on our score lines, which is what we always do first. And this is the way it will fold. And we want to fold our outside panel. And when we glue this on, we'll glue it from this edge all the way to this edge. So when we fold it, that's the way it will fit. And we'll create our bouquet in here. So let's go ahead and put our panels, our background decorative panels. Okay, we're going to let that dry, and we're going to put our decor on this one. This, and this. All right, we'll let those dry. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to put our flowers on the top of our holders. And it doesn't matter how many you do, that's just up to you. All right, and then it's a good idea to let those dry a few minutes before we start building it. All right, as I said, we'll be putting this here just inside, and we'll close it so we can kind of see where it goes. Looks like it goes just outside the panel there. So and you can make it as high or as low as you want. I'm going to push mine all the way to the bottom. And I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to build our bouquet. And these dividers have score lines as well. And if you feel like you need more of these, copy them. These will glue right in here. So we'll take our glue. And I am going to put a little bit of paper clip on one side to hold it till it dries. And then we'll do the same thing with the other two. Okay, we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to come back in and we're going to start putting our bouquet in. We'll be right back. Okay, now we want to put our bouquets in, and you can put them in however you'd like to. I'm going to put this Get Well Soon in the front, so I'm going to save that to the last. And then I'm just going to put some additional, kind of make them taller in the back and then bring them shorter in the front. And this is completely up to your interpretation. And then I'm going to put my Get Well Soon right up front. Now I've also made a little adornment that I can put on here. It's a little too much glue. I'll take a little of that glue off. And of course you can always use spray on glue if you want to. All right, there you have it. Your Bouquet Z card. This is the Diamond Z fold card, and this is what the blank looks like. I've chosen to make mine for a Father's Day card. So let's get started. This is the base, and it does have score lines, so we want to fold those. And the total card is 5 by 7. This is the way it opens. These will go here. This will go here. And same thing will go on this outside. And in these particular ones, these are layered 3 deep. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these sets together and we'll be right back. All right, we've got our layers ready. We're going to do the same thing to the letters. Of course, they're on the diagonal, but it's the same principle. Now, this is the mechanism. As you can see, it's got 3 score lines. So we were going to fold those and then we will glue it into place on the background. All right, we have glued down our panels to our base. We're going to let those dry, and then we'll be right back. Now to put our mechanism on, if you'd like to, you can measure to get it just exact. That's 7, so that'd be 3.5. And here's our mechanism folded, so that's 3, so that would be 1.5. So we'll put our glue here on the back. And we'll put our glue on the back and we will place this right in the center. We don't want this quite exactly on the fold line. We want it a little off the fold line. So let's let that dry and we'll come back. Okay, now we've got our mechanism in place. What we want to do next is to glue our panels, our diamond panels. And exactly how you do it is kind of up to you. I just kind of center them. But you only want to put your glue on this outside right here, because you don't want this to glue. Something about right there. Same thing here. Now your next one, you're going to glue just this side. We want to glue it just short of the fold line there. All right, we've got our letters glued in place, and this is our Diamond Z card. All right, this is the double Z fold card. That's the blank, and I'm going to be making a happy birthday card for a gentleman. So let's get started. First thing we want to do, as usual, is to fold along our score lines. And this is the way our card will open. This is the base of the card, and this is the front panel. Also fold along those score lines. And this is the way this will sit on here. You can put it to the center, or you can put it to the bottom, whatever you'd like to do. All right. Now let's put our decorative panels. And this will go here. The black will go in the center. And this will go here. Now, also giving you a couple of extra blacks if you want to put them on the back. And on this one, that's the way those will go. So I'm going to glue those down, and we'll be right back. Okay, now that we've got all our panels in place, we need to put the front panel to the base. And you can set it pretty much anywhere you want to. In the center, toward the end, toward the top, as far in as you'd like. And you kind of test it to see how it's going to go. That looks pretty good. Kind of puts it about center of the card. So I am going to make a little pencil mark so I can tell where my glue needs to go. Square it up. Then we're going to let that dry, and we'll be right back. All right, now that we've got that glued, we need to glue this side. And the best way to do that is to go ahead and close it so you know that it's going to close well. And then open it back up, and here again you can put your little pencil marks to show where your glue goes. Close it. And once again, we're going to let it dry. Now we have our little label. We're going to glue the front to the back. let that dry. I'm going to put a couple paper clips on it till it gets dry. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back and set this here with some dimensionals. So we'll do that and I'll be right back. Now when you're putting the label on it, if you're going to center it on the card, you don't want to put any glue or dimensionals past this because it won't open. So you want to stop your glue or dimensionals. And again, if you want to mark it, you can do that. And there you go. There's the finished card. This is called a poke-through card. As you can see, this panel here comes through the frame on the front. And I've chosen to do a Valentine's Day card. Now this one is a little tricky, and you have some extra panels because you'll see when it's done, you want to be able to see those panels on the inside of the card. So the first thing we'll do, just like we always do, is to fold along the score lines. Now we have the frame cover, which will go here. You can do that now or you can do it later, it doesn't matter. Then this is the mechanism on the fold on the inside, and you do have fold lines here and here, here, and here. You've got your two main pieces. You've got your base, and then you've got your mechanism. There are two little score lines. One here and one here. And those are not for folds. That's to show you where to glue this part of the card. There. And there. And as you can see, when you open this card, these two little tabs on the mechanism will glue to the back of this. But before we do that, we want to get our panels, our decorative panels in place. Now this part right here is where I'm going to be putting my sentiment, and I can do that now, or I can wait and do that at the end. I'm going to do that at the end. But because this will show, especially if you don't have double-sided paper, you can put decorative panels inside this mechanism. Then this goes here. And then you have another panel that goes right here. And you want to glue all those in place first. Now you have one more panel that will go on this side of the little score lines. You'll have a decorative panel here, you'll have your sentiment here, and then you will put your decorative panels on this. And so I'm going to do those first, and then we'll come back. All right, I have put my mechanism, have glued it down to the back along that two little score lines like I showed you, and then I have put a decorative panel on top of it. And I put these decorative panels here, my sentiment here, and my decorative panel here. All right. Now I do have an extra panel if you just want a blank panel, that's up to you. So now we're going to fold our card. We're going to put a little dab of glue both here and here on these two tabs. And I'm going to put a couple of paper clips. Oops, let's put this out. Then I'll put a couple of paper clips where those tabs are so they can dry. And then we'll be ready to open our card. And now I've done a couple of little adornments to put on there. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I'm going to glue this to this, and then I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. And then I'm going to just put this little leaf on here. I may need to spray that. I don't know. We'll try with just some glue. We'll see how that goes. That's just up to you. You can do it any way you want to. You don't even have to put that on there if you don't want to. Okay, let's have a look and see what it looks like. And there's our poke through card. And as I said, you can see on the inside, there's your panels. This is a Slant Z fold card. And I've chosen to make mine a Thanksgiving card. All right, the first thing we want to do is to glue the left side to the right side. And this is the way it will fold when the card is done. So here we have our front panel, and I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. All right, now remember when you're putting this together, this will show here. This will be our center panel. And I'm just gluing these down. And this is our inside panel. Now, if you'd like to, you can put a panel here of a contrasting color. Since this has got the dots on it, I don't think we really need that. But you can add it if you want to. I've also provided you with some panels that can go on the back if you'd like to put them on the back. And here's what it looks like with the center panel in there. You could always put a sentiment there if you wanted to, or you can put additional sentiments here. And here's the finished card. All right, this is our vertical Z fold card. And I've decided to make this a happy anniversary card. And I've got several layers on each of the elements. So the first thing we want to do is to glue our base together. As you can see, we've got score lines both on that part and this part. And the way these will go together is that this will go to the top here, and this will go on the bottom. So we want to put this sort of in the middle here. You can measure it if you'd like. That's 5. So this is 5, so 2.5 would be the center point of there. And this is 3.5, so 1 3/4 would be the center line there. So you can line those up and glue that to there. And do the same thing here. Of course, you don't have to center it because it's the exact same size as the other panel. Now, as you can see, I have put the tab on the inside on the top and on the back side of the bottom. Now, I have several layers. This will go here. This will go in the center. And this will go here. Now, if you'd like to, you can put this on the outside, which is what I think I'll do. And then you can put the lining on the inside if you want to use a lining. I've got a pattern paper, so I'm not going to use that lining. And again, if you'd like to put a sentiment here, you can do that also. All right. And here's our finished card. And as I said, you can put a sentiment here, you can put something here if you'd like to. All right, here's our window card. And I've chosen to make mine a Christmas card. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is, of course, fold along the score lines. All right, now when you put this together, you have to put it together just right because you want to make sure that this bump out lines up with the opening. See how it doesn't show? If you put that on wrong, you can see it doesn't fit properly. And we want light colors alike. Again, let's check it again. Yep. So we're going to glue this to here. Now I'm going to put some paper clips on this to hold it while it dries. This cardstock is a little thick, so I want to make sure it dries good before we start manipulating it. Now as you can see, this will show, but when we put the outside on it, that will not show anymore. All right. Let's let that dry and then we'll come right back. All right, should be dry by now. Now let's go ahead and glue our outside to there. And our other panels will go here. And here again, you want to check yours, because if you get it upside down, it doesn't fit. So check your fit before you glue it down. Okay, we're going to let that dry. Now here is our window decor. And there again, you can check it. Close it so that you know exactly about where you need to put that. And if you want to, you can put this here. I'm going to go ahead and put that on, glue that down. This part is just optional. Or you might want to put some sentiments on this part. It's just decor. All right, we're going to let this dry and then we'll be right back. All right, and I did make a sentiment for the inside. And you can glue that down with dimensionals. I'm just going to glue it straight. I put a little embossing on this one. Use your imagination. There you go. So let's let that dry and then we'll start on the front. All right, let's finish the front. And I've got a little wreath, and I think I'm going to put some dimensionals on that. And then I've got some extra leaves that I'm also going to put dimensionals on. So let's put the dimensionals on this. All right, here we go. Put that kind of right in the center. And then we'll put some additional leaves on dimensionals. You want to make sure that your card will fit in a standard envelope. Sometimes when these leaves poke out a little bit, it makes it hard to fit it in the card. But I think this one will be okay. Of course, you can always make your own card if you need one a little bit bigger. All right, there we are. Merry Christmas card.
Thanks for watching, and if you find this video useful, don't forget to click the like, subscribe, and notification bell to stay informed about more exciting projects. I appreciate you watching my video, and I will see you next time. If you're a Cricut Design Space user, you can access some of my shared projects by opening Cricut Design Space, and on the home screen, in the search bar, type Art, Graphics, Studio, and press Enter. Then scroll down to Community Members and click on Art Graphics Studio. There you'll find all of my shared projects.